here we are. I think I hear you coming back.
Yeah, perfect timing as hello and welcome back everyone to the King of Dota League. Kawaii up against Diilecom in the grand final. I'm SB Revolution 5, joined here by Llama Down Under for Truesight TV, or I'm from Truesight TV, Llama is not officially affiliated, but you get the picture anyway. It's going to be a great series here, and who better to cast it with than you, Llama?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I know I've said it a bunch of times, but been casting Diilecom all day, and Kawaii Desu Ni played some really great games to get to this stage as well. And actually really excited as well to see what they're going to put up today. I think Rupture saying that he does favor Team Diilecom, the team with more experience, but hey, I love it when an underdog wins, and I love it when teams with literally cute names win. So...
Yeah, and Kawaii, I mean, they're fresh blood into the Peruvian, or not Peruvian scene, excuse me, Chilean scene. And it's interesting to see Chile getting on the map here as well. So I'm very excited about that on top of everything. Either way, I mean, I personally put a few comments on Diilecom, but whoever wins, it's going to be a great game.
10 seconds
Definitely, and we've already got bans coming out. So pretty standard stuff. We've got Bounty Hunter, which has proved really powerful here. Whichever team gets the Bounty Hunter seems to go and win those, you don't have to win the team fight. You can just kind of trade and win. Additionally, Tuskar, Earthshaker. Earthshaker has been dominating this scene. He's been banned out almost every game because the games where he gets through, he just wins your team mid. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and Earthshaker and Bounty Hunter kind of doing the same thing, but Kawaii even having the option to go for the Gyrocopter, who's been extremely popular this patch and this game, or this tournament, excuse me. They're going to go with the Queen of Pain. Now, Diilecom responded with the Lina, which they like to have on their side, but we've been seeing them run it as a support. Leo style generally goes for a slightly more flashy mid play, but you can already see Kawaii picking up that Queen of Pain. They don't want to have to put up with Leo style having that, and they want to have a very strong mid laner of their own to go up against.
Yeah, the interesting thing is the Darkseer is still not picked here. Earlier today in the matches I was watching, and just in general, Darkseer very heavily favored by this scene, and so I'm a little bit surprised that they haven't actually picked it up, or it hasn't been banned. And so I think Kawaii Destiny is probably thinking hard whether they want to get that out of the way, because Winter Wyvern plus the Darkseer, of course, a very strong combo, and even if you have to ban the Darkseer, it's kind of a bit of a ban that maybe you don't want to make. Instead, the Undying coming out.
We've seen Undying be able to take these big team fights. I'm very surprised that Gyro's been able to slip through, but he won't slip anymore, of course. You can't give away Gyro if you have the Undying, so you have to be careful there. Spirit Breaker also getting the ban out, because since Kawaii are probably going to have Queen of Pain in the mid and Undying in the off lane, although Undying can be run as a support, Queen of Pain can be run as a safe lane or off lane, they are lacking initiation, and Diilecom, they want to keep that under control. You can't let them get a really good initiator with this third pick, and that's why the Darkseer as well will get banned out.
Yeah, and then the Darkseer and immediate Bloodseeker pickup. This hero really strong right now. He can do a lot of work, but he's not a super hard carry. He's not someone who's you're gonna go super late with, but he will cause a lot of early game chaos, and he can carry somewhat hard depending on his item pickups. It's just that a lot of Bloodseekers tend towards earlier game items. Now, against the Undying, it's a bit... I wonder how this will go. Again, as you already mentioned, they can run the Undying support or offlane. Bloodseeker not really wanting to play into that, because Undying's a hero that can keep himself alive and healed up, and so it does get a little bit difficult for the Bloodseeker to take him down, especially since he can keep stacking up decays and soul rip.
And since Bloodseeker wants to dive as much, Undying can just drop that tombstone and say, "Oh, you're not going anywhere, buddy," and completely turn that team fight around. So
it gets very difficult. Now, we still have the Storm Spirit in the pool, and if you're not careful, Storm Spirit, while I think the Wyvern and Lina can deal with him early game, once the Storm gets farmed enough to get a Lincoln Spear, you're in a lot of trouble against him. You're going to have to start itemizing to pick him off as well. And it's totally feasible for Kawaii to pick up Quap and the Storm Spirit and run the Storm Spirit as more of a right-click carry. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that come out here, but instead we have the Rubik aiming for the Light Strike array, the Winter's Curse, even Bloodseeker's Bloodright does a lot of chaos in a team fight, and it's huge AoE silence.
Yeah, it is going to be very nice, but of course, Rubik being picked up now, you'll have your hands on that Laguna Blade, possibly the Winter's Curse, already some great abilities to steal. Even if you're just grabbing the Blood Rage from Bloodseeker, that's practically a stealable passive that you can give to your carry. In fact, giving that to Quap and just an ult coming out is more than enough to put a big dent in some health for the team fight. But Sand King coming out for Diilecom, and this makes me second guess myself with where I said, okay, that Lena's probably a support. Sand King is going to be one of those more heavy jungler heroes. And Llama, have they been picking up a little more greedy picks today or something?
Team ban.
No, I don't see anything unusual about this. Also, the Sand King, it could still be a support Lina. It could be a mid Lina. It also could be an offlane Sand King or a support Sand King. This is a very flexible draft so far, which will enable them to, if certain other heroes get through the pools, for example, if Clockwork makes it through and they decide that will be useful, they can rotate around that way. But Sand King can be run offlane. It's a little bit more difficult right now, but it's certainly something that can be done. And actually, the Broodmother ban out because they're noticing that, you know, that would run over the supports on Kawaii. The Templar Assassin pick I find to be quite interesting. Team Diilecom is very experienced with Templar Assassin, so I wouldn't be surprised if, this is actually, we'll discuss Team Diilecom's last pickup in a second. It's really just a counter to TA, but I'm a bit worried about where they'll run it.
It is a very useful lineup though, in general.
Yes, it just gets a bit difficult. See, you can run the Bloodseeker middle and possibly run the SK offlane and then the Lina Wyvern supporting the Slork. I don't know if this Slork will be able to solo middle unless Leo style is much better than, I can't remember whether it's Pain or I can't remember who plays mid over there. I think it's Carino. Maybe not. I'm just pulling this out of thin air. But I'm a bit worried, and I think it's going to be rough. Templar Assassin does well against the Lina, and maybe well against the Bloodseeker. That I haven't actually seen the new Bloodseeker versus Templar Assassin, so I'm not sure how that'll interact. Now, Kawaii Destiny, they need either another, they can try for another support, or they can actually get an offlaner. Their lineup's also super flexible. Because it could be TA mid, it could be Quap mid, it can be Quap offlane, it can be TA safe farming, right? There's a lot of options here, and they can run 2-1-2 comfortably with those heroes. Since the Undying can really handle with the Quap, or someone can handle facing a tri-lane, and the Rubik has a good escape. But it's the Morphling! And was that us last night with the Morphling?
Yes, it was. That's right.
Yes. So, Kawaii taking a note out of, I think it was not Isurus's, but Elite Wolves' book, with that offlane Morphling. I'm assuming it's another offlane Morphling. Of course, it might not be. I'm not sure which role Pain plays, but it could just be a normal Morphling. It could just be a carry Morphling, and then the Quap goes offlane. But it could be that offlane Morphling with the 4-second stun, and we might see that again.
Yeah, and having that up against Bloodseeker can be quite good. Of course, also, if you've got a replicate to get away to against the Bloodseeker, assuming the replicate's far enough away, you can ult and boom, there goes Rupture. It's not a problem anymore when you're halfway across the map from Bloodseeker, because by the time he chases you down, you're probably going to be okay.
5 seconds remaining.
As, we do see a disconnect coming out from Diilecom.
Yeah, it could be that, I think actually it's the Quap offlane, because WAP plays their offlane, but I was getting a bit excited to see those long stuns. We can definitely still see some good adaptive strikes out of Pain, but the majority of them, since he's playing that carry role, will be on the shorter side. Still, I think, an acceptable duration. You know, it's a 1.25 second long stun, but not that 4-second stun that we saw dominating that game with Elite Wolves. And from the side of Diilecom, it looks like we are having a Bloodseeker mid. I'm really interested. Oh no, sorry, Slork mid. Benji will be doing that carry Bloodseeker, and this is really interesting. And Dockley.
Well, this assumes now that they are going to stick to their original roles. We could see them switch it up.
No, yeah, definitely. And I'm not super sure what's going on. I think Dockley is their offlane player, but I'm not super sure. So
yeah, will be interesting. Darky has actually been standing in. No, he hasn't. Just kidding. I lied completely.
So they have Dockley and El Duque, and I don't know which one is the official roster person, but they both play the offlane, I believe.
And El Duque is also known as Greedy. I've been told by Rupture while I was watching your stream this afternoon. So.
Excellent.
So yeah, looks like he's back.
And
also,
it's nice.
Real quick shout out, if you guys are Spanish speaking and you're like, I'm gonna go watch the Spanish stream, it's on hitbox.tv/rupture, RUPTUR3. So, just so you guys know, although if you're Spanish speaking, you probably didn't understand that, so.
Yeah, we can definitely, if folks ask in Twitch chat, we can try to make sure that somebody is on top of this, so.
Forsty.
Yeah, I think you've already posted it once, and maybe
Yeah.
Amber will be able to take a look. But anyway, let's get to introducing the teams now that we have a better idea of where these heroes are going.
Yeah, we will see, as Carino is going to be here on the Templar Assassin. We'll have Ahi on the Undying. Wap will be here on the Queen of Pain. We'll have Guayo on the Rubik. And last but not least, it's going to be everyone's favorite ball of water, Morphling, played by Pain in the top lane. And going for that full agility right off the bat, pretty much. 416 HP. You could blow on this guy and he might just fall apart.
Definitely, and that's... yeah, it's a bit worrisome. And on the side of Diilecom, we've got Nightmare on the Winter Wyvern. We've got Darkly playing that offlane Sand King, already placing a really deep ward in the Dire jungle. We've got Lena being played by Jericho. She's going to be a support, but definitely one that can still get enough farm depending on how the game goes. Leo Style playing a mid Slock. I'm really interested to see how this turns against TA. And finally, Benjay on that Bloodseeker. On Leo Styles mid, he just played a bunch of games as TA, rolling over other teams. He won mid every single time, even if they didn't win the game. And so he has a lot of experience with the matchup, and I imagine that will help him playing as Slock against a mid TA.
Yeah, it is going to be very nice to have, and the Dark Pact, of course, being able to really just wear down those refraction charges very early on and giving Leo Style kind of an even playing field. Now, of course, he won't have the opportunity to... okay, please hit the pings. Thank you. He won't have the opportunity to have Psyblades on his side, but we'll see. I'm not sure what it was. But did he take the bounty rune?
No,
that must be what it was.
Just concerned that he picked up an Essence Shift first or something. I'm not super sure.
But he's already got 4 stacks of it.
Yeah, it's definitely something that's working out for them. The other thing that they did decide to do is run the Quap Undying offlane. Now, this is a real pain. Bloodseeker's going to have a rough time farming against this. So.
Yeah, and just the fact that Undying says, oh, you had health? I'm going to take that away, and Quap has nukes to follow it up. So you're already on low health, and you're squishy, and then they have something to back it up. As meanwhile, Leo Style is sitting on this mid lane. Essence Shift is going to give him a bit of utility in this lane. I mean, getting extra 12 agility up against TA is going to be very good. Also, removing a tiny bit of her mana and HP is going to be nice with each hit, so... But I don't think it's necessarily the best situation. Part of the reason he's doing this is because level 1 Dark Pact isn't going to be great.
Yeah, it's something where it's nice to pop off the refractions, having some trouble there. But yeah, it doesn't do a lot of damage, and also it might do more damage than good, right? If he counts in and then he meld strikes you, or the TA meld strikes you, it can be a bit rough. Early game, of course. Oh, we've got a stun out of SK. It looks like first blood's happening up top. That's
why I will go down to Lena there. But
we'll get a return kill maybe. Oh, but the nice light strike array, and he's morphing strength, but he might go down here. One more hit, and that's a dead Morphling.
Yeah, and with Lena's extreme attack range and the Bloodseeker on the team, they do have that extra ability to track her down, or him down, even if he's in the fog of wards. So that's going to be very nice for them to have. And 2 kills going the way of Diilecom early on here. So Kawaii maybe needing a little bit, but we talked about... Rupture and I talked about, especially, that this team is a team who can play from behind, and they're actually fine with playing from behind. It's what they're comfortable with, it's what they're used to. So losing the early game, not such a big deal for them.
And we've just seen a few games where, in the games I watched of Diilecom's today, they did have a bit of trouble securing that early lead into, they played very well in the early game, but in their games against Dark Horse, they had a lot of trouble turning that early lead into the win. So we'll see how this goes for them. Yep. If Kawaii plays safely, they might be able to take advantage of late game mistakes, which cost a lot more, right? The gold swings later in the game, they're huge.
Yeah, and you've got to be careful with that, because inexperience can lead to that one little mistake that loses you the game. And I think that's where, like, Rupture in the pregame talk there was saying, hey, I'm favoring this team because they've got a bit better experience on their side. They're the seasoned veterans, and these are the new guys that just scoot in here.
Yeah, definitely.
On the bot lane, it looks like they are going to find this Nightmare hiding in the trees. They will not spot him here, but they know he's here.
He's really hard to catch anyway. He can just Arctic Burn away, as you're seeing. He's just going to walk it off. They do disrupt the pull, which is something at least. It's going to hurt the Bloodseeker's farm eventually. But trying to gank this Werver on early level, yes, they have a point in Shadow Strike, but because of that terrain shifting...
Leosal, he's not going to go down here. Disjoin it with the leap. Just barely there. And he does get a salve up top.
We have a Burrow Strike coming out, and now more auto attack, and it looks like this lane is getting destroyed. This Rubik Morphling lane proving to be far too weak against the Burrow Strike and Light Strike Array combo.
And Leosal even pushing toward Carino in this mid lane. Carino could have beat him to the rune, I believe, but he backed off because he was just afraid of Leosal jumping on him. You get leashed as a TA right now without Meld, there is nothing you can do.
Yeah, it's really rough.
We have 3 points up in Dark Pact as well. So, meanwhile, though, we were talking about how rough of a time Bloodseeker's had. He's actually doing all right. He's sitting on 23 last hits compared to the 10.
Bloodseeker's not having the rough time. He potentially could have, but they've actually not been able to do as much aggression. It's really this Morphling who's suffering. It just feels like their dual lane not doing enough work. Perhaps it's just the Rubik levels. He's not getting the telekinesis off when he needs to save him. And I think it's really just the really large stun time. They've got almost 5 seconds of stun between the Lina and... Yeah, no, only like a little over 4 seconds of stun between the Lina and the Sand King. But that's enough early game.
Yeah, it's enough for them to do a lot of damage. And Sand King already sitting on Tranquils and a Soul Ring 5 minutes in. This is infinite mana level for him.
3 kills. So it's really nice, and as you'll see, they might actually be going a bit more aggressively here as well.
Yeah, they could be looking to do that, as it is 4-0 for Diilecom, but you can't count Kawaii out. So, no worries just yet. Greenapane is doing okay in the spot lane against the Bloodseeker, though, so making up for a bit of the lost farm on Morphling, is Morphling really just wants to get levels here at this point. He's like, okay, they're killing me. I need to stay alive and get some levels, because he doesn't even have boots. It's not sitting pretty for Morph. So...
It's definitely the type of flexible draft where if the Morphling happens to get this bad early start, it's entirely possible to say, hey, you're not the right-click carry anymore, right? We have a right-click carry in TA, and we'll do a magic damage carry in quad.
Pain tries to shift some strength. He's gonna TP back up.
Back.
Yeah, a very early buyback. He's morphed full agility here, basically. If he can get 2 or 3 more right clicks off on Jericho, he needs 1 more. There was literally 1 HP out on Jericho, but he won't quite be able to close the distance here. Oh my goodness.
I think the right decision there, and he's actually running through the sandstorm. He has to go home, I think, here. And they're going to stun up the Rubik. 2 auto attacks, 3 maybe. Nice telekinesis on the Rubik. Tries to turn as far back as he can, but this is a Boots SK, and he actually just buys out. That's why he was standing still. He was making sure to buy out. They know this top lane is lost. I think they need to do some sort of rotation. Actually getting a lot of damage coming out on the Quap from the Bloodseeker down bottom, and she has to salve up.
Yeah, but she will get that salve off, and she'll be okay. As Nightmare, he's going to look for some Arctic Burn. He'll find Undying at least, which isn't quite as good as the Quap, but it is decent.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, every time there's a decay snack coming up on Undying, Arctic Burn does a little bit more. It's not much, but it is a little bit.
This is going to get really rough for the side of Kawaii. It's something where they don't have a lot of farm at all.
Oh.
And then, Undying goes down as well. Yeah.
He tried to TP, but he wasn't quite going to make it.
Yeah. When you look at the top 6 net worths, 4 of them are coming out from Diilecom. And yes, this is early days, but Bloodseeker is a hero who revels in having that good early start. And Slark as well. If the Morphling stays this week, Slark will be able to pick up that Shadowblade and just roam around, pick off the Morphling, pick off the...
Speaking of roaming around, we do have Sand King going in. They'll take down the Rubik almost immediately.
And Tia is just gonna bomb right next to where her comrades died. Not quite sure that's the right decision, especially when charges are being dropped from that refraction. Missed Burrow Strike.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but it does happen from time to time. Sand King will get one of the smaller creeps from that camp, though. As Undying is going to move over here, just trying to be a bit defensive. Nice ward there by Lina as well.
Yeah, and
this is actually a support Lina who is 3-0-3 and has mana boots at the 8-minute mark. Laguna is going to come out, and Jericho now has a 4th kill under his belt.
Yeah, it's one of those things where if the Lina does this well early on, of course, she got those early levels, means that she has that Laguna Blade. She's really scary, and the other issue being that she can transition into a carry really easily. She's a hero that can flash bomb. She can easily get that Ags pretty early on, and the way this game is going, she might have a 20-minute Ags on a support Lina. Sand King getting another kill in mid lane. I missed the beginning of that, but it looks like he just had the invis, burrow striked in. And what are you going to do? Your team's dying all over the map. Kawaii, I'm a bit surprised by this. They just seem to be having a rough time in this first game. Maybe not as awake as Team Diilecom, you know?
Yeah. It seems like Diilecom have had their warm-up all day. And now Kawaii are like, yeah, we just woke up, we had a little nap. Let's play some Dota. And this should be a wake-up call to them. I told them about how they like to play from behind somewhat. I don't think they like to play this far behind.
Yeah, it's almost a 10,000, well, it's a 7.5k gold lead, and we're only 10 minutes in. This is really difficult. This is something where most teams lose against this. And while I do think they have the late game, you have to make it to the late game to have it. And even if you think that you've got good late game, because I would agree that TA carries harder than Bloodseeker, and Morphling and TA will counter the Slolk and Bloodseeker in terms of carrying this. Slolk can be a super hard carry, and when the Lena's coming online like this, she's basically going to be a core. SK is getting completely unrestricted farm. He already has a Blink Dagger. It's almost 10 minutes in. SK has a Blink Dagger. He's already used that Epicenter once, I'm assuming, for kills. He blinks in up top. Burrow Strike coming up. They're actually massive TPs, but the Laguna played before they can do anything. I think they'll get the Lena pick off here at the very least, and that's something.
Yeah. They finally get a kill. That's 507 gold going straight to the Queen of Pain, and a good 1,000 gold going overall, but unfortunately Morphling is not going to see a penny of it.
Yeah.
He is on the sidelines, at least has his boots. Oh, Darky is not afraid. He's going to go right back in. We'll get decayed, but he doesn't have his ult off cooldown.
He's really strong here, and he knows that they're too poor because of how well the lane got dominated, that they don't have sentries or anything. So, they did have Dust though. He's maybe going to get picked off, but he has that nice leap away, and Quap had to blink in to do that, and she blind Sonic Waves and doesn't hit him, and he just blinks away. And now on the backhand, we got Lena coming in, looking for a kill. Maybe if they're lucky, they can get her. She misses the Light Strike Array. She's still got a lot of auto attacks though. They damage reduce her. She managed to catch her. Oh, but she
grabs somebody.
The Rubik.
And meanwhile, Space created. Bloodseeker takes down the bot tower. Sorry, I couldn't remember where I was.
It's not the easiest.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
It's not looking great here for them at the moment. But they do find another pickoff, and Rubik got that kill, right? Yeah. So he does get the kill. He doesn't get XP for it, but he does finally have his level 6, which that's going to change the game here at some point. Now, Sand King is looking for Morphling. He's going to blink over, but he will land the Burrow Strike.
Now the Morph shifting, but another Burrow Strike in 8 seconds. I don't know if Morphling can live that long. TA traps are popping up on the SK, but unless they have another Dust, is the Dust Carrier coming in? Dust Carrier is not here.
Is the Dust? Undying?
Undying. Undying with the Dusk. So SK is just going to chill here, and maybe, he's actually going to pop out, but of course the Sandstorm back on cooldown. He's just messing with them right now, waiting for that Bloodseeker to come up and maybe cause some trouble as well.
I mean, if they even stack one of these camps, Sand King says, okay, thank you for stacking for me, team.
Yeah, definitely. And it's looking really rough, but maybe if the overextensions from Diilecom, just like the Lena did, maybe they can get something. They really want to go on Greeno here. He doesn't have any traps up. Oh, I mean, he doesn't have any refraction. There it is.
Oh, and there's the Dust coming out as well. But the Silence is coming in here, and Bloodseeker just doesn't seem to have much fear. He'll get silenced with his own silences. Rubik does steal it there. Carino, he's staying in place. Excellent play by him, keeping that refraction up and just waiting out the ult. But Leo Style coming on in here, he'll fall just in time. And Carino, living on 25 HP, is still alive.
So we have to talk about what Carino did there. He actually ran. He ran for ages. He ran, but the reason he was running is he was trying to get away from the Bloodseeker so he could wait for his refractions cooldown. And then at the last second, he used his refractions.
And he just like stood in place. It was like
it was
basketball
beautiful.
pivot there. Like keep one foot in place so I don't take the rupture damage, and just like kite him.
Under attack.
And Bloodseeker played it well. He was trying to stay away from him, and he ends up making it out. But Slark and Sand King getting a little too eager, and some big pickups coming in here for Kawaii. Now Laguna will come out. There will be a Sandstorm stolen by the Rubik, but he can still be seen here somehow. Let me see. Bloodseekers.
Yeah, Bloodseeker allows that. But again, these exchanges, because of how far behind Kawaii is, these exchanges you're gonna see, yeah, it's another exchange in their
Dire's
favor,
middle tower
right?
is under
Albeit
attack.
it's only 300 gold for them, but that's what you want. That's what you need when you're this far behind. They're slowly making back up that lead and less people dying.
Dire's
And
middle
now this
tower
Lina, she
has
doesn't have any
fallen.
mana. They have no way of slowing her though, so she's just gonna walk it off.
Yeah, and that is the upside of this Lina right now. She can just walk away if they come at her, and she's gonna have a Yules in about 600 gold. At that point, if Morphling's like, I'm gonna stun you. No, you're not. It's a projectile now. She's gonna be fine. Morphling, though,
Yeah.
I'd like to... this is gonna sound crazy, Llama, but I'd like to actually see him go for a Midas.
It's not horrible, so you can definitely do a catch-up Midas if you know that, which I imagine Team Kawaii does. They realize they've lost the early game. You kind of are going for the super
Yeah.
late game / hoping that Diilecom makes mistakes. It's unfortunate because you also have an Undying who's a hero that falls off at about 45 minutes just because Tombstone's no longer that great, nor is Soul Grip. Actually, Lina just trying to light strike array the Morphling, but he's just fine. And now she's gonna get slowed up by those zombies. But in comes SK, and
Darky's
now
here. He's
Undying-
got the ult!
Welcome. But he ultied him?
Yeah, I'm a little surprised on that. I think he wanted to blink to pain, but he hadn't sandstormed first, and so he was still taking damage and couldn't get the dagger off. So,
Yeah, but
Bloodseeker
I
will come
think
up, but he won't catch the Morphling in time. Sorry.
Wrong with the Midas. It's just it doesn't give you any stats, which of course Morphling's
Yeah.
worried about. And a catch-up Midas at this point is going to take him a bit to get. Maybe finish the treads, then go for the catch-up Midas. As weird as that
Yeah.
sounds, just because you don't want to be. It's like when you buy bots on PL and you're behind. They're just going to be
Yeah.
able to gank you repeatedly.
Dire's top tower
The only
is
difference
under
is that
attack.
this will at least give you some money. Bots are like, okay,
Dire's
well,
top tower has
you can
fallen.
TP to your death.
Yeah.
Swap will be going for a Scepter, though,
Tower
as well,
is
it looks
under
like.
attack.
She's already picked up the point booster. We do have TA basically done with the Desolator once she gets about one more last hit, which I'm expecting she'll buy out as the Sonic Wave comes out on the bot lane. They will bring down the Winter Wyvern, as
Dire's
Rubik
top
does make her
tower
way with that
is
Arctic
under
Burn as
attack.
well. But meanwhile, up top, Darky, he's just pushing out the tower.
Yeah, and they're doing. Oh my goodness, they're doing a really good job of making sure that they don't lose the late game eventually. Like they're being very aggressive.
Yeah.
And the aggression is being rewarded, not
In
punished.
fact, they're doing such a good job that they're not even afraid of Kawaii pushing it into the late game. Bloodseeker will just pick up a Solar Crest just to say, oh, Morph, you think you've got armor? You think you've
Radiant's
got
bottom
accuracy?
tower is
You don't have
under
either of those things, buddy.
Yeah, it's definitely rough coming out for Kawaii here. And something to mention as well
Dire's
is,
middle tower is
while
under attack.
we said Bloodseeker's that mid-game hero, he's come online a lot earlier than you expect, and just because it's going to take Kawaii so much time, oh goodness, the blink forwards and the stun on the Morphling, and they've got heroes around to follow up, that's the rupture. Morphling actually just fine up in the trees, and he won't fall enough to be seen, but Lina just Laguna Blading Undying, how rude. She's actually going to have to take the Tombstone, and he...
Oh, but the Lagoon is stolen!
Oh my goodness, Rubik pays with his life. Arctic Burn and Splinter Blast gonna finish off Undying, but that was beautiful, and oh, maybe the
Leostow gets
Claw.
away for a second! He will at least leap over the tree line there, so he'll be okay at the moment. Nightmare
gonna-
does have an ult, and he'll turn it around. Wop is getting annihilated! TA ends up going down as well. It's actually a 5-man wipe here.
Yeah, so that was a bit of a misplay, Tia, I think, staying too long. She thought she was just alone with the Winter Wyvern, and it wasn't even nighttime, actually. I guess she just didn't check around the corner. So a bit of a misplay there coming out of Carino. But really nice play by the Rubik, stealing that. Unfortunately, not enough to save his team.
Okay,
Dire's
Jericho,
top tower
just
is
let me
under
get on my
attack.
soapbox for a moment, Llama. Jericho, please stop. With the
I'm
games.
not quite sure what's going on. I don't know. It might be a remnant of the last game where their Bloodseeker had a very rough time. Oh, we've got a nice Morphling
I mean,
gush out on the Sand King, but nothing that waveform's gonna actually do any damage.
in
Ugh.
fact, Sand King's gonna have a Yules as well in about 200 gold.
Yeah,
This is a Sand King who has more net worth than your mid laner.
I mean, given how far behind they are, they have tower advantage and everything. It's not unexpected. But Carino's done a really good job of at least having something. He hasn't had the
Dire's middle
easiest
tower
of
is
time
under
because of how
attack.
far behind his team is, but he does have a Daedalus, and that's
Yep.
something.
Or a
I know that's
Desolator.
it's sad, but a Daedalus. Oh,
A
sorry,
Deso,
Desolate.
yes.
Sorry, that's
If you had a Daedalus
something.
at this point, it'd be good too, but
Uh,
the Deso's
yeah.
a little better.
The Deso's gonna help them here. I really wish they would deward. They would put a trap on this high ground. It's a very common place. You know it's warded. The problem that they're having there is the sentries don't give actual vision, so you need something up there. But oh goodness, we've got
A sentry
Claw
placed
coming
down.
in. He's
They actually
under
lift
the
him.
sentry.
They almost want to go after this, but it's not enough here. Rubik does get the leap, though. I mean, for all their questionable plays.
Radiant's
Rubik is
bottom
making some
tower
good
is
steals.
under
The
attack.
Laguna Blade up top,
Dire's
but
top tower
there's not
is
much
under
else.
attack.
Yeah, it's a really rough game because you can't. You wanna, as you said, you wanna like be saying,
Radiant's
"Oh, look at all these things I
bottom
stole,"
tower is under attack.
but
Dire's
you have to get in
top
really
tower
close.
is under-
And against this
Dire's
team, if you
top
get in
tower
close
has
enough to steal a
fallen.
spell, you're probably dead
Dire's
just because of the
structures are
mobility of these early
fortified.
blinks and Sloth
Dire's
being so
middle
mobile,
tower is
Bloodseeker
under
being so
attack.
mobile. So this is a really hard game for Rubik. I think a lot of here comes speaking of the Sloth being mobile, he's gonna find the Rubik. Oh, we actually
The double leap coming through there. Very
Sloth.
cleverly done, though, at least. But Slark will pick up the kill.
He definitely, I mean, it's not that
Dire's
Rubik's
middle
playing poorly,
tower
it's that
is
they
under
got,
attack.
although I didn't actually see enough of what happened top lane. Bloodseeker picking off TA as she tried to get a desperate push on. So this is really what Kawaii realizes they're super behind, so they're trying to go for those desperation pushes, but they can't. They're not staying alive.
Yeah. And if you
TA
can't stay
got
alive,
that.
you're gonna have a real hard
Dire's
time
middle
pushing.
tower is under attack.
TA down there,
Dire's
really
middle
bad
tower
that she
has
died. It was a
fallen.
really nice attempt. That's a really excellent tower to get down. It's one of the most important towers for Dire, the other one being the mid lane. And so having that down would actually free up the map a little bit more. It would make them safer along this area. Oh goodness, my lines are weird for some reason.
Dire's bottom tower
It would make
is
them a
under
lot safer
attack.
along there just because of the TP rotations.
Oh, your
And the-
lines are weird on your screen, Llama, but they're fine on mine. Just so you know.
Oh.
It does that to me, too.
Yeah,
It looks like
it looks like many lines.
a grade school art project or something.
So
Dire's bottom
what's happening
tower
up here
has
is
fallen.
Kawaii realized they can't actually defend in the tier 2 area. So they're gonna put some emphasis on defending high ground. They do have good high ground defense. Quap actually
Definitely.
trying to go for that Ags early, which I
Radiant's
really
top
like
tower
here.
is
A
under
lot
And
of
she's
people
only 500 away. If they really need it, she can sell like the bottle or the magic wand and get that Ags for a big high ground defense.
she'll sum it up. It's actually really
Oh, yeah.
nice.
But I'm just saying, if it's a desperate measure.
But I think it's really nice to have because they're in base defense mode. Oh, Yule's coming up, only and dying. I think he manages to not get stunned, but there's the Laguna Blade. Doesn't matter whether he actually light strike every hit. And oh no, Chirino is here, but he doesn't have refractions and he's just gonna go down.
Oh dear, and that's not good. Morphling does get a Midas up. Hopefully he can. Okay. No, he's gonna use it once. They will use the Quap ult, but this game is all over by the kitchen sink, I think.
Yeah, we'll
Okay, yeah.
see. That's GG.
I was worried it was a fake one for a second.
A really rough start coming out here for Kawaii. I have seen them play better than this, and I'm not sure if it's just that they weren't
have.
warmed up, or
Yeah.
that they had a rough drop. It looked like everything went wrong in that top lane. Their bottom lane actually seemed to be okay, but the top lane went really poorly, and hopefully they can recover from that. I didn't see that last bit of all chat.
It says "I love you, Llama" from Leo.
Well, that's new.
Yeah.
I was just telling Amber that I have a number of South American fans, and she said she had mixed feelings on that, but I